Welcome to Disney, the Canadian-themed Disney travel podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Krysta. How's it going, Brandon?
Pretty good.
Yeah. We're recording Sunday late afternoon.
Late afternoon. There was just a little sprinkly shower.
Yeah, we were caught walking in it.
We did some chores this morning, and then we
lots of stuff off the old to-do list.
The brewery.
To celebrate being done, the stuff off the old to-do list.
Yeah.
Well, not all the stuff, but the big stuff.
The big stuff. Anyway, yeah, so it's been a good little day, and it's been a while since we recorded as well, because we were away.
And we recorded in advance of being away.
And then we were away again.
Yes.
And we did not record in advance of being away that time. So there you go.
This week's episode is going to be kind of weird. It's like a little bit of catching up, mostly news stuff. And we're going to talk about our recent-ish trip. And, yeah, pretty much new stuff. Before we get to that, Brandon, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a beer from Calgary, Alberta.
Ooh.
From New Level Brewing.
Okay.
It's called Hellion Lager.
Ah, the artwork on it is super cool.
It's a little graffiti demon-y looking dude.
I'm a sucker for good artwork on like wine bottles too, but like beer and stuff like that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What about you?
I'm drinking a White Claw. I think you brought it to me.
It's black cherry White Claw.
Perfect. Thank you. I just opened it. I haven't had a sip yet.
So you're not drinking it. Now you're drinking it.
Now I'm drinking it. I just had a sip.
There
And Brandon, what is your nerd thing this past week?
Well, we went and cuddled baby goats.
Last weekend. That's why we weren't able to record.
Yeah, that's where we were. And I got to cuddle baby goats, and it was wonderful.
Yeah, it's true. This corn maze, kind of local to us. We've talked about being at the corn maze before in the fall and things. It's a great little fall time thing. In the spring, because of course no corn, they do a petting zoo and they have baby goats to cuddle.
It's the new crop of goats for all of your goat cheese needs or whatever they use the goats for.
Yeah, and they lock you in a pen with baby goats for cuddling.
They put you in a pen.
No, they lock you in.
The cuteness of the goats locks you in.
Yes.
There's no actual lock.
No whatsoever. We literally just left.
Wow.
But the cuteness
with great
of
difficulty,
the goats,
we left.
The
yes.
goats were so cute.
Oh, they're so sweet.
And there was one that was just really, really young, and he was a baby, and he fell asleep on me, and then I couldn't move for like an hour.
Yeah.
It's the rule. Mm-hmm. It's like cats.
It's just like cats.
But baby goats.
They kind of act like cats,
That's
too.
That's very true. They're much more like cats than they are like dogs,
yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is officially June, and I'm a teacher, so I have just one thing after another for me is my nerd thing.
That's lame.
Yeah. I'm taking kids to a musical this week. Beaches, the musical.
Sweet.
Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I would like to be. I hope that there's like a spotlight when they sing the song.
I'm sure there is. Anyway.
Okay, well, I'll add, last weekend, not only did we go cuddle baby goats, we also did an escape room.
We did, yeah.
And we went to a Queen tribute band. And that was super fun.
It was super fun, actually, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Queen has some good music, and the tribute band was a very, like, spot-on impersonators. Very cool.
Yeah,
very cool.
Very good energy, just very fun, yeah.
Yeah.
But and now it's June, and all my free time has gone away for the next few weeks, but then I'll be free, and it'll be lots of free time, and it'll be lovely. So.
And you'll probably play.
So much Animal Crossing in Dreamlight Valley, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
There's an in-game event going on in Dreamlight Valley right now, and it's done June 5th, and I was just lamenting that I'm not going to be able to finish it in time.
Oh, no.
But I did finish the Star Path.
The horror.
I did finish the Star Path.
The horror. I was mocking you.
We haven't started yet, but we have a new show that is going to be starting this week. Acolyte. So we don't have like a spoiler-free gut reaction, but we have a looking forward to. Looking forward to.
The first reactions were allowed to be posted on Twitter, and the general consensus is it's very Star Wars-y. It's like a little more mature, kind of like Andor.
Oh, perfect.
And kind of like a slow to get going.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think we're gonna like it a lot. So I'm looking. I'm
okay with the slow burn as long as it's leading to good storytelling. That's all. And better than flash in the pan and we're done. And
like a focus on practical effects and good fight choreography and stuff. That is good. So I'm looking forward to it.
That's exciting.
2 episodes on Tuesday. So
all right. So soon. June is crazy for shows, Brandon.
It is. It's wild.
And I already screwed up.
Acolyte's the first one.
Yeah, but there's a documentary that was released on Friday on Disney Plus that I need to watch before we get really inundated, and I'm already out of days.
Yeah, you're out of days. So.
There's a Jim Henson documentary.
Which looks really good, but that'll be there.
Yeah, it will be. I'll like squeeze it in one day or something like that. All right, let's head to the news. Disney A News Update. Okay, you said you had news. Do you want to go first?
Sure, I guess.
Alrighty, I'm excited.
So it's been pretty quiet on the Disney, Marvel, and Star Warsy front, except for Deadpool's marketing is going strong. Lots of social media posting, and the latest thing is that they finally revealed the exclusive Deadpool designed popcorn bucket.
I can't believe they're doing this.
I absolutely can, and it's wonderful. You basically just have to watch the video that Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman
they both
posted to Twitter. It's kind of building off the whole Dune popcorn bucket that people may have made fun of in certain ways.
Oh yeah.
This one is
just straight up.
Yeah. Anyway, it looks really good, and I don't know if we get it in Canada. Unfortunately, I think it is an AMC exclusive popcorn bucket, but I would totally buy it because it's hilarious.
It would be weird to drive down to the States just to go to a movie to get this popcorn bucket.
I don't even know how far away the closest AMC is.
Dang it. I was like, there isn't any, because we're actually really close to the border with the state, relatively close to the border with the
relatively close, but I don't know the closest AMC would be.
But yeah, if you're driving several hours after that, then no. Any other news? I have Marvel news.
Well, they had some more. They had the. I don't know what panels or they had some sort of little mini festival or something where they were showing pieces of Agatha at.
Oh yeah.
I don't even know what it was, but
we have more clips of Agatha, basically.
But it was not publicly released. It was just at this panel of whatever convention or thing, press thing it was, and they had more stuff. And
also Patti LuPone.
She's just like. She's not scared of the Marvel snipers, obviously, because she's just like, I don't care. I'm just going to talk about all the stuff.
Do you have any idea who I am?
I'm just going to talk about all the stuff, and so yeah, she's been a little mini spoiler machine.
Yeah, nothing huge.
No.
But she definitely was the one who gave out the. Oh yeah, we're walking down Witch's Road, and we're doing this.
And we're doing this.
And someone else is like, where she's just like, bleh. But again, she's like, I'm Patti LuPone. Do you not know who I am?
All her co-stars have panicked looks in their eyes as they're doing this interview. She's like, whatever.
Yeah, again, I'm Patti LuPone.
So, there you go.
Yeah, that's cool. I have Marvel news. Giancarlo Esposito.
Yes.
Joins the cast of Captain America: Brave New World.
Oh, okay.
As the film begins reshoots.
Okay. Not great, but they do that a lot, so who knows what that means.
Right. But we like him.
He did say, I had heard that he said that he had been in contact with Marvel and it was going to be for something you didn't expect, is what I had heard.
And previous to that, he had said he'd be really eager to join the MCU.
Yeah, but he didn't want to be a villain.
I think he's probably playing a villain.
I don't know.
The not expecting, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. It's too bad because I think he could be actually a cool good guy.
Yeah.
He's just really good at being that cold, calculating. Not a crazy.
No.
Villain,
like
just
super intelligent and just like yeah. But anyway, he has officially joined.
Cool, I do like him.
Me too.
He was supposed to come to Calgary Comic Con this year,
excited to see him.
And maybe it was Captain America that kept him away. I don't know.
maybe. Well, it did say that he had signed on to a new project. That actually would probably work out timing wise.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of construction going on at Disneyland.
You ain't
more
kidding.
Coming, basically.
You ain't kidding. So yeah, we were there.
And we'll talk about that more when
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, we saw a lot of construction.
Yeah.
A lot of construction.
Yeah. So we have some construction updates. New roofing has now been added to Tiana's Bayou Adventure Millhouse at Disneyland.
Oh, that's probably what we saw the start of.
I think so, because remember it
looked kind of like a ladder, but obviously wasn't a ladder because it was like on the side and turned. But yeah, it was like the start of some new roofing. That looks like some kind
of roofing. Yeah. We even said that, so that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the big piles of dirt that was by the Haunted Mansion grounds, all of it's gone.
They flattened it.
And there's new basically framework for concrete is now visible.
That is excellent news because they have been in teardown mode for a long time and they're starting to run out of time. It is now June. And Haunted Mansion must be open for the end of August.
I know they haven't given any announcements, but that's when Halloween season starts.
I'm sorry. If it is not open on day one of Halloween, someone has failed and will lose their job.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it opens about a week prior to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And maybe a soft open even earlier than that.
Might be.
But
that is their deadline, and they keep pushing stuff back. Look at the Mark Twain, which looked like it was done, and then it took 3 more weeks for it to open.
The Haunted Mansion, they're gonna keep it Haunted Mansion Holiday. But it must be open for day one of Halloween.
At the latest.
At the very latest.
So we're in good mode anyway. We're finally in good mode for this. But yes, we have it almost kind of looks like a retaining wall. There's like a stone wall kind of at the back, which kind of looks like, against that hill there. And then they have the markers
the mausoleum.
Markers in for concrete. There's no sign whatsoever about the gift shop, but like other people have said, should it all be done for the opening of Halloween? Absolutely, but the bare minimum is they need to get that ride open.
They need to get the ride Halloween. Open, even
you
if
don't need the gift shop.
Even if the full queue isn't done, you get enough of it done to have a queue.
Yep.
And have the ride running.
Yeah. So anyway,
and as far as the gift shop goes, they're probably building that somewhere else and they're going to plunk it down.
I think you're right. So much stuff has been coming out. This is more Walt Disney World, which is not usually our thing, or not usually what we talk about so much, but there's a lot of full ride through videos of Tiana's Bayou Adventure, and if you go on Imagineering on YouTube.
There's a new YouTube series. They had one episode that we watched.
Yes.
Few weeks ago.
They call it Imagineering, is I think what it's called. Yeah.
And it's just on YouTube for free for everybody. I mean, there's going to be ads if you're not on YouTube Premium or whatever, but free for everybody. It's not like a Disney Plus show, which they totally this seems like pretty high-end stuff.
It's true.
They could have put it on Disney Plus.
They did not skimp on this. Yeah.
Which is actually kind of interesting to talk about in and of itself, that they haven't done that, because the other thing that they've put on YouTube is the Legends Marvel Legends series.
They put those on YouTube?
They've put a bunch of, I don't know about all of them, they've put a bunch of them on YouTube, which makes sense because it's basically you're previously on.
That's interesting.
And that used to be only on Disney Plus. There's a bunch on YouTube now. Which, I mean, like I say, it makes sense. You're trying to catch people up and get them excited about the next project.
It's basically advertising them to go to the next thing.
That should be something that's on YouTube. It was an easy dumping ground on Disney Plus, but that might show some signs of them not being as confident in Disney Plus.
That's why I'm saying that's super interesting. Yeah.
Anyway, so the Imagineering story, the first one, what was the first one's focus on?
The first one was on audio animatronics, right. And that was our first glimpse at that's what they used as the pinnacle, was the Tiana Bayou's Adventure.
So, and there's a theme here because that's their major project right now. They're building,
of course.
They're building one in Florida. They're building one in California. That's what the Imagineers are working on right now. I mean, they're doing other stuff.
The whole thing is about other things as well, but that is what they're doing as their like climax of their episode.
So animatronics, the first episode was very good. You got your first look at like Louie the alligator.
Oh, so good. Mama Odie and
stuff like that. That was very cool. And this one the focus was on music.
Yes.
And again, the big focus was on Tiana's Bayou Adventure, where there's a new song. They did not reveal the song. Smart.
Yeah, it has been like leaked online and stuff like that. And in fact, now I did see Disney Parks posted a clip of it.
A little clip
on Instagram. Yeah.
Because the new Zippity Doo Dah is a brand new song. It's not something from Tiana's The Princess and the Frog movie. It's a brand new song.
Yeah. So there are actually some high energy songs. I honestly 100% thought they were going to go with Almost There or Dig a Little Deeper. That's the Mama Odie song. It's a super fun song, really high energy.
I thought they were going to go with Almost There,
which is like a great song. Actually, we're not like the world's biggest Princess and the Frogs theme song, but the songs are great.
The songs are pretty good. The animation was absolutely gorgeous.
It's true.
The plot was mediocre, and I don't know how they screw that up. You got like voodoo priest
was great,
and he ended up kind of lame, and like Tiana's a great princess. I think she's awesome, but
I think she's awesome too.
Like the plot was not great.
Different things, like I think they. So this is funny because this is like
we're going on a tangent.
But I'm such a I don't care about the plot if I don't care about the characters, but I cared the characters were really well done. The plot they lost. Ray the Little Lightning Bug, I was in love with Ray. And actually Ray's Berets is the one gift shop that's coming.
That they're building, yeah.
Ray the Lightning Bug is great, and the song that he does, My Evangeline, is beautiful. Like, the music itself is beautiful, so I'm interested that they're actually coming back to it. They're writing a new song for the finale. Because Dig a Little Deeper is a super high energy song. That's Mama Odie's song. But I think...
I don't know if that would work
Not for a finale, though.
Yeah. I'm interested to see the quote-unquote plot of the ride.
Yeah, there's one real... there's a couple weird things.
But, anyway, so you gotta watch not the Imagineering story. That's on Disney+. This is Imagineering.
Also, we recommend that, too, but it's different.
Yeah. This is Imagineering on YouTube, and...
They call it Imagineering.
They call it Imagineering, yeah. It's...
shorter.
It's very short, yeah. 20 minutes, you...
you get to see an official...
Have your appetizer and...
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not like a POV ride-through, although other people have posted that now. Official media previews start less than a week from when this podcast is released. It starts, I think, June 9th or something
it's basically open now. Book your trip. You can go.
Yeah, they do a few weeks. Apparently, though, of the few days where they've been having the super early bird stuff, they've had a lot of breakdowns, I've heard.
Interesting. You'd think a log flume would be a log flume that's been operating for a long time would not be that hard to keep running.
Think.
Maybe it's the new animatronics.
Maybe it's the new animatronics.
Because the animatronics are very fancy.
They're super cool.
They are. It seems like they have taken away the amount of animatronics.
But the level.
Splash Mountain had a lot of animatronics.
Oh, yeah.
And some of them, they were used from whatever that thing.
America Sings, yeah.
Yeah. And, but the new ones are the high level. You see the videos from Shanghai Disney, the Frozen ride and the Beauty and the Beast ride.
Yes.
They are on that level.
Yeah, they're really high level.
Which I always roll my eyes when they're comparing animatronics. And it's okay, those ones are brand new.
Yeah.
The ones you're comparing to are
the ones that were making
20, 40, 30,
the ones
many
we were
years
rolling
old.
our eyes about recently was comparing Frozen in Walt Disney World and the brand new Frozen ride. And you're there's about 15 years difference between these two rides.
At least. And And yeah, the Tokyo Disney probably put more money into it because they have the partners foot the bill, and yeah.
But anyway, this is really high level. We did watch Fresh Baked did a side-by-side comparison with
mini
some of the scenes. Yeah, just some of them.
Kind of like an overview.
Yeah, so a few of the moments, and again, just based on like, but it was based on the official release footage, and you don't know how doctored that has been. Not in terms of what the scenes themselves are, but like out of place of
you have to
chronological.
You have to guess where it is in the ride, and they're not showing you in great detail what they don't want to show you. Yeah. And all that, but
the stuff they showed was actually pretty impressive for the most part.
I think the animatronics look really good. I think a lot of the exterior stuff, well, they had to deal with the barren briar patch type hill, Splash Mountain Hill, and they're forcing some theming in there that just looks terrible, but whatever.
So some of it, yes. I think the Bayou stuff is good, but there's some weird stuff where I said it feels like they're shoehorning stuff in there.
But
what did you think? Like, we have to see it, and very important, we have to hear it with the music. The zippity doodah scene. We did see an image of this.
I think the big finale scene, the scale is actually grander. I was surprised that they were not keeping like a riverboat there, because I thought that was an easy tie-in.
Totally. And a nod, like...
Especially in Disneyland, because it's like right on the rivers of America.
Yeah.
And it feels like the Mark Twain just came in there. But side by side, you could tell that the new scene is actually scaled up and it is grander.
Yeah.
And the new animatronics are fantastic. You're losing hidden Mickeys though. Like, I don't know.
They better be putting some other ones in there. That was one of my favorite hidden Mickeys.
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. We're off on a tangent. Tiana's almost done in Florida, and I think it's like ramping up in California too.
I think so too. They haven't released any dates other than it's coming this year, but just judging from where we are compared to where they were at the same, you know what I mean?
It started about 5 months later, like we've said. I would not be surprised if it was done September.
Yeah, that's kind of where we were discussing and thinking. It's not going to be open for the beginning of Halloween season, but it'll be open for Halloween. That's what I think.
Before the end of Halloween, I would be shocked if they were not running new Splash Mountain. I'm also going to continue to call it Splash Mountain.
That's fine. It should be Splash Mountain. Speaking, back to our. I know a lot. Like most of this episode is catching up on news anyway, but also we have new construction coming. Beginning of July, Hungry Bear is closing, and actually that whole entrance to. We were just laughing at our cat. Sorry about that. That whole entrance to Galaxy's Edge is closing as well.
If I was a project manager at Disneyland, I would be a little bit embarrassed right now.
They are a little bit worried about your job, quite frankly.
They are doing way too many construction walls at the same time.
I agree.
That is an entire... The whole point of Disneyland is that it's designed as a circle.
Yeah.
That's cutting off a big... pie.
There's a reason you call something the hub and like it's a wheel. Yeah.
Brutal. Anyway, whatever. That'll be like a month, I would say.
Probably. I think it's like connected to the Critter Country stuff, and they say they're looking at the Hungry Bear kitchen while it's all kind of
which is an opportune time. Like, well, that whole section is closed. You might as well do it, but doing it in the middle of summer. Maybe not the smartest planning of timing wise.
Well, and some people are annoyed because it was literally announced like the day of or the day after that the discounted summer tickets went on sale. So a bunch of people bought tickets, made reservations, then, oh, by the way, this other stuff is closed. Like you said, you're not going to Disneyland to go to Hungry Bear, but there is something about like, oh, this whole walk, like, it's actually almost more jarring having the walkway and the like movement closed.
Yeah. The flow of the park is very disjointed. It's not that for me anyway. I don't know. So maybe some people are really wanting to go eat at the Hungry Bear. They have good food there. I don't know.
They do. We almost went and had a burger there when we were there. We didn't.
But the flow of the park is cut off.
Yeah, it is. which matters. At Trader Sam's Tiki Bar, in honor of the Matterhorn Bobsled's 65th anniversary, there's a coconut pineapple Dole Whip that comes with a new souvenir Matterhorn cup for $10.
At Trader Sam's.
At Trader Sam's.
That's not going to be there anymore.
No. There's a bunch of Inside Out 2 merch, of course, because that's our summer release that's coming out.
Yes, and that is all over social media. People getting very excited to go buy their Inside Out 2 merchandise. Right. And like, I have anxiety. Do you have anxiety? I have anxiety. As they hold up their plush of anxiety, yeah.
That's fine.
Anxiety is very, very popular.
I understand that for sure. I wonder what, like...
I think they might have introduced too many new emotions, but anxiety was like...
Well, anxiety was the first one they really focused on.
And
I'm enjoying ennui. I saw a clip of the one I'm going to love the most, nostalgia. And it's just apparently a clip like, well, kind of like how when, you know, in the first one they wander through and they just meet like little things here and there. I think that's going to be like nostalgia is like, comes in and is like, it's a room for me. It's like, oh, I haven't seen you so long. And then he like leaves again. And I get that.
Nostalgia, that should have almost been saved for like a short.
Yeah.
The Pixar's big on their shorts, or they used to be. Anyway, but nostalgia really speaks to the millennials, and I think you could
do well with that one.
You could do well with that one, but yeah, anxiety is very popular.
Totally get that. Very exciting. Phantasmic is back.
Yes, I think we kind of buried the lead on that one, but that's fine.
That's fine.
We did watch basically a whole video POV of it, and it looks pretty good. I don't know. I mean, the dragon was very, very impressive, but if you didn't know, the show
if you
still
didn't
works.
Know what you were missing.
It's still very cool. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And a lot of big stuff. Like you got your massive puppet snake guy.
Yeah, you still have Ka.
You still have Ka. You still have the Mark Twain going by with all the characters on it.
Which is like my favorite.
You still have the princess barges, and you still have the Lion King trippy animal barges.
That's true.
They're like,
well, are they Lion King or are they Jungle Book?
I think they're Lion King because they're singing the Just Can't Wait to Be King.
Is that what they're singing?
Yeah, I thought so.
I don't know. Anyway.
I mean, King Louis is on them, but I think it's...
Or is it like a weird mishmash?
It's a mishmash, but I thought it was Lion King.
But anyway, it's, it is still a huge spectacle. If you hadn't seen
and that is the thing about Phantasmic, because it is a big mishmash of everything.
Yeah.
There's not like you have all the princesses and they're singing different little beats of their own motifs and overlap. And that's what makes Phantasmic pretty cool.
Yeah, because it's all supposed to be like in your imagination, and all this stuff can exist at one time, even the villains, and it looked really cool. They also have some new dining options.
Mickey meddles with powers that he can't comprehend, and all those sorts of things.
That's on point, actually, for Mickey. There's also some new dining packages out with it. So they brought back the River Belle Terrace. They brought back Blue Bayou. And instead of Hungry Bear, we were like, hey, that's weird they didn't offer Hungry Bear. Now we find out it's because they're
now
closing.
We know.
Instead, we have Rancho del Zocalo.
Which looks pretty darn good.
Super good. I was like, if I'm doing one, I think I'm doing that one.
I think that's the cheapest one, too.
Well, when we went before, we did Hungry Bear. And that was like a really good, I wasn't disappointed in that at all.
Yeah, you still get, the ones, they're different prices, obviously. They're different dining experiences. Blue Bayou, of course, is going to be a little higher end sit down type of thing, and then that's gonna have your front row center type of experience. But the other ones, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
Solid. You can solid view.
Oh,
You're not.
You're
We showed up basically last minute for our reservation.
Yeah.
So we were not near the best spot in the reserve section. It was perfectly good.
I was like, why would you even worry about this?
I was not. Yeah. I wouldn't worry about it at all. And having some delicious Mexican food. That sounds great. I don't
Gotta
know.
eat anyway, may as well like do the same thing.
So right? I think we might actually do that in August.
In August when we go next. I have one last news item. It's gonna make you sad.
Probably.
Disneyland. When we were there, you had a very cool meet and greet.
I did.
With Hero.
I did.
Baymax is back.
Baymax is cool.
Yeah. Baymax is very
Why would that make me sad?
Because you just missed him.
That's fine. They were clearly having problems. It was... So we went for... It was my first time seeing San Francisco, and we were kind of chilling out there, and you'd periodically see Hero come out. And by himself, and it was not the busiest meet and greet, because it's Hero.
That's
and
fair.
Whatever. And we were sitting there, and I was drinking my margarita from Pixar Fest, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go meet Hero. I don't even care. And I went and met Hero, and I had a nice long conversation. You're going to post some pictures from it. Because they were excellent, and that was awesome. And then we just watched Big Hero 6 this weekend, and it made me cry, and I don't even care.
Me too. Big Hero 6 is amazing. We did an episode before I went to Disneyland of the top movies to watch before you go to Disneyland. I don't know if Big Hero 6 was on there, but if it wasn't...
But that was before they built San Francisco.
Because we didn't know. Like, they were building San Francisco. Like, it was before my trip. Like, they had built San Francisco, but we hadn't seen it. Yes. So, yeah, now we're saying, if it wasn't on there before...
Big Hero 6.
It's on there now.
Anyway, I would love to meet Baymax, but Hero was actually really great, and there was...
Super underrated character meet and greet.
Super underrated, and it was... I don't know. I'm actually better at character meet and greets than I thought. I'm like...
I'm super awkward.
Little sharper.
My favorite... Okay, this is, again, talking about trip review, which is what we were going to be talking about main topic, but I just have to say, best meet and greet that I was there for, I, like...
You gotta save this for the walkthrough.
Okay, let's go to the main topic then.
Tease.
At the park. Okay, main topic. Can I say it now?
No. Still teasing.
Okay. We were at Disneyland.
Yeah, we went for a weekend. A long weekend. That's kind of cool.
That is super cool. I love telling people that. So our May long weekend is different than the States' May long weekend, where we don't do Memorial Day. That's the weekend after.
Yeah.
We have Victoria Day.
For Queen Victoria.
Exactly.
Because we didn't have a revolution against England.
No, we just quietly sent some papers.
We're like, hey, we're going to go now.
And they're like, oh, thanks. Okay.
We're going to go enjoy our poutine, eh?
Yeah.
And they're like, okay.
Yeah, it's fine. It's too cold here anyway.
Anyway, so yeah, that's our long weekend situation, and we went for the long weekend, and it was everything I always wanted.
Literally, was that not the coolest thing ever?
It's interesting what you can do unsupervised with adult money, I guess.
Can that be the name of this episode? It's interesting what you can do unsupervised with adult money. It's probably a little long.
It's a little long, but it's also good. I don't know. Yeah.
It's true. You didn't work the Friday. I had a half day, so I took a personal, I'm allowed X amount of personal days. I took part personal day for that. And, we flew out Thursday night, and by Friday morning, we were in the parks, and, it was...
We would have gone for an hour on Thursday night.
And we would have made it.
Except Disneyland was only open till 11 on Thursday, and only open to 11 on the Sunday, which was really weird because they were open till midnight on the Monday.
Yeah, bizarre.
Who made those hours? I don't know. I was shocked, but whatever.
But weird.
But yeah, we rolled into town pretty late on Thursday, and we're up bright and early on Friday.
Sure were. Checked into our hotel and rope dropping. Okay. So we were in the parks Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and part of Monday, and then we flew home, which was our holiday, and we were at work Tuesday morning. Which is so cool.
not crack our front door at home until 2 a.m. On the Monday.
But I made it for Belle on a Tuesday morning.
I drove a half an hour to work and was there for a little after 7:30.
People at work couldn't believe it. They're like, "What'd you do on the long weekend?"
I was not the last one to work. So.
There you go. And they're like, "Oh, I went camping." And but just so you know, it snowed here May long weekend.
There were flurries. Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, this." They're like, "What'd you do?" And I went to California. I went to Disneyland. Okay, Friday. Okay, in general, we don't have to go day by day and stuff like that. But first, let's talk crowds. Because right away, we got in line at Rope Drop Friday morning.
Very strange cadence of crowds, yes. I would say.
And we noticed something super weird about the Rope Drop crowd Friday morning.
There wasn't one?
Well, there was a rope drop line, but not for rope drop.
Oh, right,
there was a security rope drop line.
We got in line at security, and I was shocked because we were there at 6:30 a.m. and the security bag check does not start until 7. And when we were there at Christmas, it would get lined up pretty significantly.
Very busy place.
It was very, very busy. This I'm expecting that it's not going to be as busy.
Yeah.
I know it's a long weekend for Canada. So there's going to be some Canadians.
Yeah. It's still a weekend.
It's still a weekend, but weekends have been kind of hit and miss as well, actually, since the reservation system has evened the crowds out. I wonder why they want the reservation system. Anyway, we get there, and the lineup is almost past the construction fence.
Yeah.
For downtown Disney.
Just to clarify, we go in the downtown Disney security.
Yes.
We the last couple times we stayed, and then again when I stayed with my mom and sister, we stayed at Best Western Stovall's Inn, one of the Good Neighbor hotels. This time we didn't, but we stayed at the motel right next to it.
Right next to it. It had a mega wicked sale on.
Yeah.
It was super, super cheap.
And we were like, we're there 3 days.
We're there we're in the hotel for 4 hours at a time,
right.
Basically. So
we're still using the same security.
We needed a bed, and the bed was sleepable.
Fine. It was
totally fine.
Yeah.
So that's fine. So we're using downtown Disney security, and they're constructionizing the
nice. This was Din Tai Fung area.
Din Tai Fung, is kind of where it is, and they're planting some gardens there and stuff.
We heard them talking about the order to put the flowers in,
which was very fascinating. Cool. Actually, I took a little peek through the construction fence to go.
Really cool,
whatever.
We're like, we can't wait to check that out.
The whole point is this lineup was really long, and I was like, what in the heck is going on?
I know. We're like, is this a flashback to Christmas?
And then I start looking at these people, and there is 0 ears.
0 ears.
Zero lounge fly bags.
Merch. Yeah, 0 lounge fly bags.
A lot of hoodies, a lot of no Spirit jerseys or anything, and I'm like,
almost all gray. Almost no kids.
No strollers.
None.
No kids. None. I was like, what in the heck is going on?
Way back where we were, I was the first person wearing ears in that lineup.
And for quite a while.
Yeah.
And I was very confused.
I was like, what is happening?
I thought they were maybe reintroducing Tower of Terror because I thought I was in the Twilight Zone.
And they were all wearing gray.
And so whatever, we're like, I don't know. And so they open security eventually, and we make our way through eventually. It's pretty quick because there's no strollers.
Of course, yeah. Weird how fast that goes then.
And whatever. And we go. And as we're walking through downtown Disney, we notice there's a big kiosk set up, and there's a bunch of cast members doing stuff. And they have a bunch of taped off queue switchbacks. And there's a bunch of people, and basically everyone that was in that security line got in this random queue. And you're like, what is going on?
So I went and asked.
So you went and asked. And it was a special Lorcana release.
Yes. So people were literally all lining up for security for this Lorcana release. Yeah.
And I don't know if they had to pay for it or if it was like a limited edition. or if it was just a brand new set. Lorcana is kind of Magic the Gathering Disney.
Yeah. I'd heard of it, but I have never
I've heard of it. I've seen the card packs in stores.
Yeah.
I just don't know what was special about this release, but there was a whole ton of people lined up for it. We cruised on by that because no, you are not getting into Magic the Gathering Disney. No, that's a bad Krysta.
I was like, I wonder.
No.
You're just like, wait a minute.
No. We put the kibosh in that. We kept walking.
Yeah.
And we were first in line at actual theme park.
Yeah.
Because, of course, the real trick is if you're not staying at a Disneyland hotel, either the Disneyland Hotel Grand Californian or Pixar Pier, you always book your starting park as the opposite of where they're offering early access.
If you have the option, that's what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it worked,
make sure you have the option because
worked so well.
it is so much so much better.
Smooth as anything.
You'll see even like when the early access is for Disneyland, the crowd will get really, really big. But if it's for DCA, the crowd for DCA at rope drop entry will be twice as big as the one for Disneyland, which is weird.
Yeah, but it's so for rope drop, like you're talking once you're in the gate.
When you're in the Esplanade, you can see the people lining up to get into the gate for the park that has early access.
Yeah.
If it's Disneyland that has early access, it'll be really big. If it's DCA, it'll still be quite big. Disneyland, of course, is always going to be more popular.
Right, okay, yeah.
If you're going to buy a single non-park hopping ticket, you're probably
buying Disneyland.
You're probably buying Disneyland. But the crowds are it's just weird.
It is, yeah, it is crazy. So we alternated. We did Disneyland and DCA and Disneyland DCA, and we did the opposite every day except our last day, which was intentional.
It was intentional, but I kind of forgot about it. But it was intentional.
But it was pretty crazy. So
rope dropping a park that has early access when you don't have early access is a little bit of an exercise in frustration. I will say that.
It helped us that we weren't rope dropping. We weren't heading to the attraction everyone rope drops with early access.
Right.
Yeah.
Because
it was DCA. It was our last day. It was on the Monday, and we got we had a starting park as DCA, and that was early access day.
It was early access day.
Radiator Springs Racers is not open for early access.
It's not.
But everyone goes and they line up for it.
They line up as close as you can get.
Yes.
To Cars Land Radiator Springs Racers. And so if you don't have early access, you're already well behind.
Yeah.
Which we experienced that at Christmas because back in Christmas they had early access in both parks every day.
Yeah. And
that was
we still
kind of annoying.
It kind of was, but we still did all right. Like we still did quite well. I was always very impressed with how we did considering that. But our plan, and we did that, was we were going to rope drop Guardians. And Guardians
which is my favorite
open.
ride.
Yes, and Guardians is open for early access.
It is.
But we knew we were only going to be there for a few hours. So we said, well, let's go rope drop, because we wanted to end in Disneyland. So let's go start in DCA, and we'll rope drop Guardians. And even if we only do Guardians a couple times, and then go over to Disneyland if it's really busy, that's what we'll do, and then we'll get on the plane and go home. So that's why we did it that way.
It is, yeah.
Yeah. We were able to do Guardians
twice. We did it twice. The second time...
That day.
That's not, that time, the second time it was a little bit more lined up, but whatever. But we were able to continue on and do like Cement Credit Coaster and everything.
No, it was really good. But I did want to mention that I know it's our last day, and we're talking about
we're all over the place. That's fine.
But what was interesting, I'd never experienced that before at the rope drop for Guardians, and I don't know if it's because it was open early access or whatever. They walked you. They
had cast members pace carring you all the way, and then they consolidated you into a single file line to get you into the queue. Every other time I've rope dropped, they take down the rope and tell you to stand there, and then they tell you to go, and it's like a free for all. There'll be periodic cast members yelling at people not to run, but they're not controlling the crowd at all.
No, but this was interesting. They were like, you are walking and you're walking behind this person, you're walking with this person, and all the way into the queue. Like, it was very interesting. Disneyland and DCA rope drop. So I get asked a lot about tips for different things. I'm always like, you're not ready for this conversation if you're just asking me in general.
You have a particular set of skills.
It's a very particular set of skills.
Developed over many years.
It's just Disneyland. That's all.
I will find you. And I will buy you a churro.
Love it. Seasonal? One of the special ones, maybe?
It might be a special one,
yeah. I didn't have a special churro this time. I had other special
We didn't have any churros.
No.
We failed on the churro front.
Did.
But we got a lot of other stuff.
We did.
So we'll get to that.
Yeah. But I just want to, like, just while we're talking rope drop, because that was a very interesting experience. But I got asked a lot about tips. If you're rope dropping, because I always recommend you can rope drop. Even if you have, like, little kids or whatever, do your best. Take a break midday.
You take a break. You don't have to go back to your hotel, but you can take a break. You can go see Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln, have a quick nap. Like, something.
Yeah. The amount of people who go into Tiki Room and, like, lay down it's not zero.
You can lay down in Tiki Room.
Yeah, or at least recline against the back.
I had a micro nap in Tiki Room.
I didn't this time, but I had before. Train. Ride the train around a couple times.
The train's probably a little better. The Tiki Room has some loud noises at period. Yeah.
But there's ways to do it.
Anyway.
Or just have, like, a super long lunch. Or go back to
we could do an episode on best places to nap in Disneyland.
We actually should. That would be hilarious. But my point is, if you can rope drop. But rope drop in DCA is a very different animal than rope drop in Disneyland. Rope drop in Disneyland, you have several different points. Mm-hmm. Your biggest points, you have a lot of people who rope drop Indiana Jones. You have a lot of people who rope drop Space Mountain. You have the most people who rope drop Rise of the Resistance, which we'll talk about in a minute. But at DCA, you have one big spot for rope drop.
There's one and a half of another one.
Yeah,
and that
maybe a half.
Is it.
And the one is the one that leads you to Radiator Springs Racers. The one that heads you to Cars Land. As soon as they drop that rope and you're allowed to go... Well, they drop the rope and then you have to wait. And then as soon as you're allowed to go... Disneyland, no matter where you're going, for the most part...
They have a lot more cast members.
They have a lot more cast members. And they'll be like, walk, don't run.
For the
walk,
most
don't
part,
run.
yeah.
Walk, don't run. Yeah, there's a couple of minutes. We're getting there. Don't jump ahead. But Radiator Springs, it is people run. People run, and they run like crazy.
It's pandemonium. We do not run because you're not supposed to. And I take pride in the fact that we follow the rules.
Yeah, we speed walk like crazy. And you will literally, like, you have very long legs. I'm very short.
And I will drag you.
And you will stand in front of me, and I will hold your hands so we don't get separated, especially in that Radiator Springs crowd. And we speed walk like crazy. But
and
even
that's the other
I
thing.
Don't run.
We don't separate. I could leave you in the dust, and you could come find me.
Totally.
We do not separate.
No, that's lousy. Don't do
Most people, a lot of groups at rope drop, and other times, but a lot of people at rope drop, they will send one just charge
the fastest person,
just charging ahead, and then they'll have 10 people coming behind them, like, oh, excuse me.
Yeah, and I usually don't mind if it's like one person. Like, one person's like, I had to park the stroller. Whatever. I'm generally okay with that.
Yeah,
but it's usually when the one person
even if it's like
ahead.
a family of 4 and like 2 of them are ahead and 2 of them are behind.
No, it's when they send the teenage kid to run.
If there's the 13-year-old kid that sprinted
when you're not supposed to,
and then the family of 10 comes behind
them.
That bothers me. Anyway, even that's not what we're talking about.
At DCA, there was a dad who took off running, and he had his metal water bottle, fell out of his backpack, and he yelled at his kid to pick it up, and they kind of like went and swooped it. Any person, that was like it was a very quick walk. Anyone could have stepped on that, rolled their ankle, broken their ankle, and that's your start to Disneyland, because some idiot, and it was an adult, decided he needed to sprint
and
out of the gate.
And that wasn't even rope drop. That was just
from the
park
gate
entry
to the rope.
Yeah.
So it's absolute pandemonium. So be aware of that. There's different things like that. And we could talk about a bunch of tips like that. So we did rope drop Cars the one day. Or the first day we did DCA.
Yep.
The first day we were there, though, we were at Disneyland. And we rope dropped Hyperspace Mountain.
We did, because I've never been to Hyperspace Mountain. I was excited to see it, and you kind of you have to pick. Disneyland's interesting. You have to pick and choose. There is multiple options, like we say, for a rope drop.
About 3, maybe 4.
The bit like, so there's 4.
Yeah.
But 2.5 directions. Or
that's
3.5 directions, I should say. Tomorrowland is where we rope dropped. You kind of go by the Plaza Inn restaurant, and that gets you
right at Astro Orbiter.
Right on the right hand side, facing Tomorrowland Astro Orbiter entryway. Rope drop, and that everyone there is going to Space Mountain.
Yes. In fact, when I went by myself the one morning when I was there with my mom and sister, that's the direction I went. And we got there, and as soon as we got to space, it was closed. And so we all turned around and just jumped into Star Tours. And she made a joke. She was like, "Hello, travelers who are here from Space Mountain's closure."
Yeah.
You know you're going that way for
Everyone goes to Space Mountain. We rope drops. It was Hyperspace Mountain. And we were on the second roller coaster or whatever. And that works out really well. And then from Space Mountain, you can go right to Matterhorn and basically walk on that. Yep. You could rope drop Matterhorn.
That wouldn't be weird.
That wouldn't be super weird, but it's not typical. Space Mountain is.
If you want to do both, you do Space and Matterhorn, not Matterhorn then Space.
I would agree to that. Yeah. The proviso being one or both could be down.
When we did the mountain challenge, we got it on the 3rd time. Yeah. But when we did the first 2 times, Matterhorn was down.
We were skunked by Matterhorn twice on the mountain challenge.
Yeah. Just being down for like the first 20 minutes or something. But anyway.
Ride closures at rope drop can really impact your strategy.
And Spaces or Matterhorn, it's often closed at rope drop.
Not as often as Rise, though.
No, that's true. Okay, so anyway, we did Space, then we did Matterhorn. What did you think of Hyperspace Mountain?
I quite enjoy it. I could see why some like Disney purists. I do like the original Space Mountain music a lot. I think the actual queue experience with the Star Wars sounds and the Star Wars voiceovers and the Star Wars pictures on the walls and stuff is better. I think the ride is quite good. All of the projections. Yeah. You have the TIE fighters and the Star Destroyers, and particularly the TIE fighter that you like kind of duck under.
That one's my favorite.
A very good effect. So I think Hyperspace Mountain is like actually a quite incredible ride skin. Like there's some that are like, I don't know, Haunted Mansion Holiday is quite good. That's more of a total conversion.
Yeah,
though.
that's more than just a quick skim.
That's a lot of work. It's a Small World Holiday is not that big of a reskin, but I like it better because you break up the horrible song with Jingle Bells. So I don't know. I haven't seen Monster After Dark. I think that'll be fine, but it's also only during the nighttime, which actually probably makes it better. But I really like Hyperspace Mountain.
I really liked it too.
But I'm glad it's not permanent.
Yeah.
If they made it permanent, then I'd be kind of sad. But as a temporary thing, I really, really like it.
And it's a good amount of time. It's like a month and a half or something like that. I know that's a complaint people have with the Haunted Mansion overlays. It's so long. It's like, well, but that's because it needs to hit Halloween and Christmas.
And it's a lot of work to do.
So, it's almost an entirely different experience. I really enjoyed Hyperspace Mountain. I totally get what you're saying. If I have to pick, I'm almost always picking the original. But like it's close. Really good.
It's close. Like
I'm 50-50 on it.
If they did make it permanent, I would be kind of bummed.
I'd see that. Yeah, I could see that. I think that's fair. Okay, so
but I'm glad it exists because it's really cool.
So let's just quickly talk about the other Star Wars stuff. Star Tours. We rode it a couple times. We got a couple new scenes. What did you think?
Well, they were still hyper. We went on it twice. which was less than we normally do.
Yeah,
actually.
Normally it's a very high.
But that's because we were kind of skunked on the Sunday with the early close. Because I think we were probably gonna go back.
We were. That was
to
our plan.
Tomorrowland, in the 11 to 12 block there. But whatever.
So maybe we would have ridden it one more time.
Our theory was they were still fixated on the new holograms for sure, and the new scene with the Purgles. But also we got the pod racing scene twice, and we were thinking that was on purpose as well, because it was they were heavily looking at the 25th anniversary of episode 1.
I think so.
Like they had a whole bunch of 25th anniversary merch, episode 1 merch.
It was like the week of or something.
Which actually, it would have been the week of. Oh man, I remember when that movie came out, and I was in high school, and we drove to the nearest theater that was playing it, which was an hour away, and they were sold out. After all that, and then we got tickets to not the first show, but the later show or something like that. We came back the next day, and there were still people that had camped out in costume, watched it both showings the first night, and then were there
to watch it again the next night.
Or something like that. I just remember there was a couple hangovers, but
which is so funny because most people were terribly disappointed.
Yeah, but if it's that built up,
you're like, I'm making this a thing.
You kind of, and you still have the Duel of the Fates. Like, as bad a movie as The Phantom Menace is, and there's some real bad parts. You still have Qui-Gon.
Yeah, you still have Qui-Gon.
Who's awesome, and you still have the Duel of the Fates, which is
that appearance of Darth Maul,
which is still the best lightsaber duel.
I'll see that. Okay. Plus you had this buildup of this whole time.
Yeah, so anyway, hyperspace, Star Tours, the new scenes are really cool, the new holograms are really cool, the Mandalorian one is very 3D, like mega 3D.
It was really well done.
I was shocked, I haven't seen that kind of 3D since I don't know, early 2010s when My Bloody Valentine 3D came out. Remember that one? Yeah. It's trying to shoot out stuff at you. And I was not expecting that, because you're in Star Tours, you have 3D glasses, but the 3D effects are very minimal.
I appreciated the other 3D one.
And then we saw Andor as well. He's not as 3D, but you felt like you could reach out and touch him.
It was very well done.
Anyway, and then the Purgle stuff is pretty cool. You get to see Ahsoka.
Yeah, who I love. I adore Ahsoka.
Yeah. So that was cool. And then you said the other Star Wars stuff. Oh, we did the scavenger hunt.
We did.
That was kind of neat, actually. There's little canisters hidden around Batuu in Galaxy's Edge, and you write down the symbol, and then you have to decipher it, and then you get a little trading card.
Totally.
Which was fun. Some of the canisters were actually kind of hard to find. The map was not very good, but whatever.
And in fact, the one time we were walking by with the map, and it was the one near Oga's, and she's like, "Come here, it's not right."
The map is wrong. It's on the other side of the street.
She's like, "I know."
She didn't tell us where it was.
She's like, "It looks like this on the map, but it's the opposite."
Yeah.
Like, oh.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, because most of the other spots on the map were fine, but that was a fun little thing.
What about the new droids?
And then we didn't see very many characters in Batuu, but we did get to see the new BDX droids.
I love them.
So they're BDX because they look kind of like the BD droids from the Star Wars game, but they're a little bit chunkier, so that's why they call them X, because they're not the exact same.
Good for twerking, the chonkiness.
But the chonkiness is good for twerking.
They do that.
they're fully emotive.
Yeah, it's crazy.
How much emotions that someone putting in a remote controlled toy, which they're very detailed and very cool looking, and they look like droids. So they're like movie level detail. But
let's be aware, it is a remote control toy.
Someone's remote controlling it, and they have buttons to push, and like they get angry at each other, and they like you say, literally twerk.
The one liked to dance.
The green one likes to twerk.
Yeah, he like turned around and wiggled his butt.
And it was super adorable.
Yes. Any other Star Wars stuff you want to talk about? Maybe an event, an experience you had?
I did build a lightsaber finally. That was not a special Star Wars event.
No, but it was still a Star Wars thing you did.
That goes on. If you're a Star Wars fan and you have money to burn, I would suggest it. It's very cool. You feel kind of, I'm Star Wars-y.
Yeah. It was really cool. You get to bring a guest with you, so I came with you.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is pretty cool. Like, I built a droid, and that was really cool. This was like an entirely different, immersive level.
I knew the lightsaber was on a different level. I actually liked the droid more than I thought I was going to. I thought it was going to be kind of lame, but
it was super fun.
The droid experience was actually pretty good. The lightsaber one, it's like kind of fully RP. It's what their vision was for Galaxy's Edge originally. Like the whole thing was supposed to be like that. Like the cast members are in character.
And when the place first opened, like we watched some YouTubers, specifically Ordinary Adventures was like the Galaxy Edge YouTubers we watched.
Super nerdy Star Wars folk.
They do more like conversing with the cast members, with the language you're supposed to be using, and things like that. You don't say
hi. You say bright suns
or rising moons,
and to the spire, stuff like that.
It's how many credits, not how much money, and that has slipped more and more. Oh, it's way
more. Yeah. Not in Savvy's though.
No, exactly, and so like that's like this pocket.
Which is good. You are paying. I would think it should be Savvy's and Oga's specifically, but even Oga's it slipped.
A little bit, although less so than other places. But yeah, it has. I noticed the difference between when we were there this time and when we were there last time, let alone the first time. Savvy's though was really cool. Like it's expensive, but if you have the means, you
get yes, it's expensive, but you're paying for the experience and a lightsaber, which is going to be expensive no matter you buy it off Amazon. That kind of lightsaber is going to be expensive. So if you're a Star Wars fan, I would say yes.
Yeah, it was very cool to come along with you. Do you want to talk about the one you built?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like someone talking about their fantasy football team, right?
Okay, it's fine.
I built a dark side one, and I got a purple Kyber crystal.
It looks really cool.
Because, which we still have to open, I got a purple one because the red ones, if you get it, it's red, obviously, because when you're in the experience, you actually just pick the Kyber crystal itself.
Right.
Where if you buy them from the store, you have a chance to get special ones if it's red or blue now.
Yeah, so that was kind of like...
So that's why I went for purple.
You had it all thought out.
I did, yes. I thought ahead. And so I have a red one ready to go, because I do want the red one in the dark side saber.
But you're like, in case I get the special one.
I want the special. I want the black Kyber crystal.
Yeah, that's fair. That's really cool. Okay, so we rope dropped that. We talked about Star Wars a little bit. The other time, we rope dropped in Disneyland. Speaking of Star Wars, you tried to kill me.
Yeah. So again, okay. So you got Tomorrowland. That's what we did. We went to Space Mountain. That's your rope drop option. The other option, if you have little kids, rope dropping Fantasyland.
Which a lot of people do.
A lot of people rope drop Fantasyland. Specifically, Peter Pan is the big one.
So just as a quick thing, Friday when we were there, it was really, really quiet. So after we did Tomorrowland, we actually went and we did Peter Pan and Alice as like.
Well, not only that. We'll go back to Friday. But yeah, so you can rope drop Fantasyland. You do Peter Pan first, and then you do Alice second, and then you do everything else.
Basically.
And you can get real good bargains first thing in the morning in Fantasyland, especially if it's not super busy.
Yeah.
And so if you have kids, that's an excellent idea. And then you've ridden everything that they were excited about, and then you can kind of chill, go have some late breakfast snacks.
Go book Minnie and Friends and do character breakfast.
Yeah, I do a character
like,
breakfast at 10 o'clock or something like that. Whatever, you're gonna have a good time. So that's that. Of course, we will never rope drop Fantasyland. That would be a little outside the box
wouldn't
for us.
do that.
But if you have kids,
we like to close. We've closed down Fantasyland a couple times.
Nighttime Fantasyland's excellent. I would just never rope drop it. Then your other option is Indiana Jones.
Yes.
A lot of people like to rope drop Indiana Jones. We have rope dropped Indiana Jones.
And when I was with my mom and sister and we rope dropped, we did Indiana Jones.
And that used to be like your primary Adventureland attraction. There, you'd have rope drop lines for Frontierland and Adventureland, kind of side by each, because that's how the entries go. And the Frontierland people would go to Big Thunder, which is kind of a half option as well, but I would suggest not doing that. You can still get bargains by
even in an
if
hour.
the park opens at 8, you can get bargains at Big Thunder by 9.
Yeah,
when they start running a second train by 9.
Yep.
But Indy was always big. Now that Galaxy's Edge exists, Rise of the Resistance is the primary draw. That's going to be your biggest lineup in the park most times, unless it's down or something weird is like Space and Matterhorn can be kind of competitive with it, always depending on what's going on. But Rise is your e-ticket of all e-tickets in Disneyland right now, because it's the newest ride and it's very cool. Whatever. If you are rope dropping Rise, be prepared.
I was not prepared.
You were not prepared.
I knew where it was.
Talk to Scar.
I've been on it.
Talk to Scar and be prepared. Because you've gone there. You've been on the ride.
Several times.
You knew where it was.
I did. But I wasn't rushing there first thing for rope drop before.
It is very far away.
It just kept going. We just kept going.
We do not run.
No, never.
But I do speed walk.
Yes.
And I have very long legs. My speed walking is very fast.
My speed walking is not very fast. I'm 5'2".
And this was day 3.
You are 6'6". And this was day 3.
It was day 3, yes. So our feet were not in pristine condition.
Fair way to say. After like a couple hours of sleep,
Yeah, not a ton of sleep. 2 full days in the park already. Yeah. Going from the Adventureland entrance, past Indy, past Tiana's Palace,
keep going.
Past the closed Tiana's Bayou Adventure, past the closed Haunted Mansion, past the still open Hungry Bear, through the bridge, under the Dale, and then you're finally in Galaxy's Edge. But no, you keep going because they have the extended queue of Rise of the Resistance that you walk past. Keep going and keep going. And the other thing about this is there's very few cast members. So we were getting passed by people absolutely sprinting.
Disneyland is generally better about people doing speed walking, not running. Sometimes people will do like a short run and they get yelled at right away. They have cast members spread out to begin with, but there's none around the Rivers of America. So as soon as we got to there were people flat out sprinting.
Basically, as soon as you pass Pirates...
Yeah.
There was nobody. No cast members.
No, until you got to Rise.
And whatever. I drug you all the way. You were huffing and puffing and your legs were burning and your ankles were going to fall off.
I'm not in that kind of... I was not okay.
But we got there.
Not only did we get there.
We got into the first pre-show.
Yep. We
got on the shuttle.
We got on to... Okay, yep.
And we were the first in the actual ride.
Yes. Because there's stuff that happens and we like...
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil it.
No, but because we knew what to do, we were like knowing where to look and...
Yeah, so they like a lot of places, they gather you in a chunk in a pre-show and then you know where the door... Just like the elevator at Haunted Mansion
or just like the entrance to Guardians or Spider-Man or any of the pre-show places.
Yeah, the collector's room in Guardians. It's all that. There's a few things like that in
Yeah.
In Rise, and
but we knew about it.
We knew about it, and we weren't like rude about it, but we just kind of edged and went in, and
we didn't even walk in front of anyone. We were just like, oh, this is the next direction. Oh, this is the next.
I actually kind of hide in the corners because I'm very tall,
and you're which is, I have to say, like, you worry about it a lot, and I think, like, kudos to you on this. I know no one says that anymore, but I do. Kudos to you on that, because you're always very self-aware of how tall you are. And you never want to, like, block someone's view unwillingly.
I am. I know I can see, and I don't want normal height people to not be able to. But
the other problem is you are with someone who's shorter than most adults.
Well, and I'm aware of that too, and I try and put you in good spots, and then anyway.
You'll often push me to the front and then go stand back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so no, you're very hyper aware of that all the time. So yes, we rope drop Rise. It was running that day, thank God.
Yes, that is the problem with rope dropping Rise, especially with how far away it is. If you rush there and the cast member hasn't told you at rope drop that it's closed,
we have been in line when it's been closed.
Because they sometimes will know, but sometimes they won't.
Yeah, it's just if they find out.
If they find out, it's not like they have a walkie-talkie and they're like,
exactly. Hey. Yeah,
right. But if it's well known that it's going to be down, then the rope drop cast members will let you know. But you do make that gamble because it's very far away, and if it's down, well, then your option is to go to Smuggler's Run, I guess, or backtrack. But if you're backtracking all that way, you've lost a lot of time.
Yeah. So the other thing when they say to hesitate about rope dropping Rise is it's down a lot, but even if it's not and you ride it, you're way over there, right? It's not like Indy where you're really close to Big Thunder or you're really like different things.
Your backup plans on that are not great, and if you're not in the first couple of pre-shows, you're still waiting a while, and that's eating into your prime extra rope drop.
Granted, is still shorter than you're going to wait in the heat of the middle of the day, right? Like, I'm talking heat population, like crowd-wise.
It's all strategic.
Right?
Anyway, I was very proud. We were literally the first ones
without running.
Without running, we were the first ones on the actual ride of Rise.
Well, dragging me half the way.
And that was very cool.
Yeah.
So we were very successful on Hyperspace Mountain, probably his second roller coaster. We did do Cars.
And we were very successful on that.
On day 2, we were very successful on that. We were actually getting on the car that the pit crew got off of.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what that is, they usually will pick a family or
often,
or whatever, most days to be their assistant pit crew.
Yeah.
And they get kind of like walk through the empty cars line
about like 15 minutes before the park opens.
Take a bunch of pictures, and then they're the first ones that get to go on Cars.
We actually got in their car.
And they were getting out of their car, and we were getting in their car. So they had gone through the whole ride, but they were obviously like the first by a long shot. And so that's how well we did on Cars, which was pretty good.
And actually what's really cool is we talked to, of the family, there was like a few members of the family, but the mom and son were in Incredicoaster lineup.
Yes, we recognized them, and they were right in front of us in line.
So we started talking to them about that.
And we talked to them, and she was talking about that experience and how cool it was. And
they're from Alberta.
Yeah, they were. They're
from Alberta, Canada. They're from Edmonton.
Edmonton, yeah. So that was actually a weird coincidence that we actually got to talk to them later in the day.
Yeah, we're like, wait, did you? And they're like, yeah, that was, oh my god. Yeah, so that was really cool that we talked to them.
And like, I don't begrudge them of that at all. Like,
no, that's amazing.
That's super cool, and of course they're gonna pick a family.
Of course. Like, and she's like, I felt really bad. I said, I wouldn't. I would have like, oh my gosh, no.
Us two elder millennials.
Yeah, no, we would
are
never,
not gonna be picked. No. It's a fan.
And we would never be, like, we would never expect to be in a category where we would be.
No.
We would never expect to be in any,
no,
like, we're not.
We have our own advantages of just being us two. When you have some kids
Yeah.
Like
totally.
Yeah, whatever. That was a really cool pixie dust, and we got to like.
I actually really enjoyed watching them enjoy it. You could tell they were walking, and she was like
some
almost...
like nice compersion with it.
Yeah, it was really nice. Yeah, it was really nice. So we did really well with that rope drop, and then we did really well with the rise rope drop, which was the day 3, and then day 4 was the one where we purposefully did. We actually did well with that rope drop too, even though the park was already open.
We were right up there on Guardians, and we got a couple good rides on Guardians. Yeah. So all our rope drops actually turned out really good. Mm-hmm. Friday. Let's go back to Friday.
Okay. This is turning into a much longer episode than intended.
Yeah. Well, you're excited about talking about something.
Yeah, that's fine.
Friday was the least busy day I've ever been at Disneyland for.
So Friday, when I was there with my mom and sister, it was Dapper Day, and it started really busy. Mm-hmm. And then just throughout the day, the crowds just died completely. Friday all day, most of the day, was what that Dapper Day was. It was crazy. So we rope dropped Space Mountain. It was also a grad night.
It was a grad night.
The Friday and the Sunday.
Yes. It was a grad night, which might have led to what we experienced, because we rope dropped Friday morning, and by 11 a.m., everything was still a walk-on.
Yeah.
Everything.
We went back on Space for our first Genie Plus at 11 because we kept pushing everything back. Because we were walking on everything.
I bought Genie Plus as soon as we walked in the park, but I was like, I don't want to book it because there's no reason to.
Yeah, we ended up using it later.
We did end up using it later, and we did park hop, and like the whole grad night thing is a whole thing, and it started getting busier as it got later because DCA stays open for the grads until 3 a.m., which is wild. I was like, we
didn't know that, and then we were talking
I graduated a couple times. Can I go?
Right?
No, I need you to go to bed. Never mind.
No, you're way too old for that. Unless we take the next day off, we're going to bed.
But I could not believe it. We rope dropped Space. We walked on Matterhorn. Then we wandered over to Toontown.
Oh yes, because this is your first experience with Mickey and Minnie's.
Well, my first experience with like
Toontown,
new Toontown in general, and that was whatever. And I had booked a lightning lane for Mickey and Minnie's because I was like, okay, well, by the time we get there, it's probably worth it. And I was looking at the line, I was like, let's just go on it, and then we can loop back around and do the lightning lane. No, I canceled the lightning lane and moved it to something else because it was not worth it to use the lightning. We went on Mickey and Minnie's twice.
Yep. And
then Gadget's Go Coaster, and then Roger Rabbit's, and then we walked out and did all of Fantasyland.
Almost, yeah.
Everything was a walk on.
Yeah. So our second ride on Hyperspace Mountain, which was just before 11, was our 10th ride of the day.
Oh my goodness.
I keep track of what we do every day. Mm-hmm. And then at the end of the day, I count how many rides we've been on. So I actually keep track of even while we eat and things like that.
Yep, no, and that's very cool. How many rides did we do in our 3.5 days, keeping in mind that our half day was one of the busier
It was crazy busy.
I was shocked. It was a random Monday.
I would have lost a lot of money on that.
The Monday before Memorial Day. Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at my list, yeah.
Yeah. How many rides did we do in those 3.5 days?
91.
That's a lot of rides.
Yes.
That's a lot of rides.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at this going like, oh my goodness, this is a lot. And we had some pretty chill downtime.
We did.
We did like a fair bit of chill downtime during this time.
When the sun came out, we got Genie Plus the first day, probably unnecessarily, but we did use it. But
we used it more later after grad started picking up.
The day would have been fine without it. Mm-hmm. And then we didn't get it the next day because we're like, wow, that was weird.
It was a little bit busier
and it was a little bit busier, but we used us not having it in the middle of the day to have downtime and try some Pixar Fest food and some Pixar Fest drinks.
So excited for.
And meet some characters.
Yeah, it was actually really cool. We met Talking Doug.
We met Hero. We met Talking Doug. Yeah. We met
Pluto was over there.
We met New World Order Cat.
Yeah, that's right.
We met Iron Man.
Mm-hmm. Okay, can we finally say it now? Your coolest character interaction, or the one I was most impressed by. Your coolest character interaction might be Hero, or of course maybe Doug.
Doug was great. I didn't like. I didn't
You weren't as
present myself as well, but I was just excited to meet Doug.
Yeah, it's a talking dog.
Oh my god, it's a talking dog.
We were walking through Avengers Campus, and we were like, oh, someone's coming out. Oh, look. And they came out right then, and it was Iron Man. So we jumped in that line right away.
Yeah, we were like third in line for Iron Man.
Which is one of the biggest lineups always.
Mm.
And so we get in line, and we're going to do the picture and stuff like that. And he asks who our favorite Avenger is.
and the benefit is the day that we met the most amount of characters is also the day we drank the most.
This is true.
So drinking helps your social anxiety.
This is true as well.
And so I was like, wow. I mean, obviously Iron Man, just like laying it on thick, right? Yeah.
He's like, good answer. That's the right answer. But now why?
Yeah, and he was like, yeah, no, that's a good answer. And so I was like, okay, that's whatever. And then he's like, he hits us with like, but why? And I was like, okay.
And what did you say?
Challenge accepted. So then I was like, wow, let me tell you.
And you're quoting.
And I'm quoting the movie,
himself.
And I'm like, I'm quoting himself, and I'm like, wow, billionaire, philanthropist, playboy. Genius, yeah.
And he was like...
And he's like...
Very good.
Very good.
And he went, wow, very good.
And the cast member taking the picture was laughing
just
too.
Cracked up. Which I think is the real goal. Yeah.
So nailed it.
Absolutely nailed it. But we had a great, even on this Saturday. Yeah.
So this is a very long episode. I'm going to condense it down. I'm going to wrap it up here.
Let's do that.
What was your favorite food that we had?
Can it be a treat and not a food item?
Yeah.
I had dill pickle lemonade.
Nice. Yes. Okay. No.
Or tied with my Dole Whip. Can I tie?
No. Dole Whip is lame and boring.
Dole Whip made me so happy.
Yeah, you always like Dole Whip. The lemonade is the right answer.
Okay. Sparkling dill pickle lemonade is, I think, what it was called. It's a summer item. It was at the refreshment corner on Main Street, USA. On our first day, we had lunch at Jolly Holiday. Also excellent, by the way. And then we were going to park hop. And you're like, hey, isn't that the place that has the dill pickle lemonade? Went and got one. It blew my mind how good it was.
And you had another one on the last day.
So I said, this is going to be my last treat as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that was my favorite.
And you were drinking it while we were waiting in line for Pirates, which was the longest line I think we ever waited for.
It was. Moved along quite quickly.
It was only 40 minutes, and everything else was 3 hours, and we had to leave at a certain point,
yes.
And so it was gonna fit in good with the timing. Yeah. And there's very few lines I will be scared of at Pirates, because 40 minutes in a Pirates queue feels like 20.
Yeah, at most. For sure. You're just moving the whole time.
It's very quick. It feels very quick.
So we specifically went and got that so I could have it in line.
Yeah, and you were sitting there waiting in line, and the ladies in front of us were like, what is that? And then we had to tell them, and then one of them was like, oh, I want that. And they were mobile ordering for when they got off the ride to go get their
it's true.
dill pickle
They were like,
lemonade.
okay, it's how, hold on, and they're Googling how long the ride is so they could add up how much.
So that was good. I think my favorite food...
Can I make a guess?
Yeah, probably. You could probably guess.
Was it the mac and cheese?
Yeah, it was the mac and cheese. They had the spicy... at Hanger Management food booth for Pixar Fest, they had the spicy mac and cheese, but I think the combo one.
Yes, agreed. I really liked that too.
It had regular mac and cheese with the spicy mac and cheese. The mac and cheese was very, very, very spicy.
We really like spicy
I
food.
would probably say
you.
like 7 out of 10.
Yeah, for you.
Which
for most people is beyond what they can handle.
Like, I don't know many people in real life that would be able to eat it.
Yeah, I agree. Even so, we really like spicy food, especially you. And you're like, it needs to have the other one with it. To, like,
you need to even it out. And then we had the elemental margaritas.
Those were really good, actually.
After to like kind of quench your.
And I'm not like I either love or hate margaritas, and I really liked these. Also, it had rock candy floating in it, which helped.
Well, yeah, the rock candy was great, and mine was like spicy mango, but it didn't taste really like mango. And wasn't very spicy.
Right.
It just had good flavor.
Yeah,
it was like very good, very good flavor, totally good. Which is, and you had the blue one, which was fine.
I really liked it. We had quite a bit of Pixar food. We had a couple summer items, but we really focused on the seasonal stuff.
We tried to have the special stuff. And the Soul Gin drink was also...
That was very good.
It was called the Great Beyond.
Yeah, and it was very pretty.
It was very pretty and delicious.
Yeah, it had an orchid floating in it.
And the Soul Booth also had great beer.
Yeah.
Including the strongest beer I've ever had in my life. It was like 10.5% or something. We got
a flight and you're like, wow, this one's crazy. We went and ordered it again. We're like, why is this one so much smaller? Oh, because it's twice as strong as everything else. They
only did a 10-ounce pour for that one. Because otherwise you would be... like passed out on the street.
We had some Pixar food at the booths, and then at the Troubadour Tavern, and then which was also really good. We had the potato and the mac and cheese wedges. Other than that, we had summer food or like general things. Yeah,
it was very successful. We did watch the Pixar parade.
We did. That was super fun.
The parade itself is like fine. It's like Cavalcade Plus, I would say, but I like the song. It turned out really good.
The Better Together?
Yeah, because it's like the Better Together parade, and they had like a kind of theme song for it, Better Together, but they made it work with all the different IPs, and I thought that was very cool. I really liked the Turning Red float. Four Town, that was very cool. And yeah, no, it was all
I thought they did a really good job with it. It was the exact right tone for a daytime DCA parade.
Gets your energy
super
up.
Well. Yeah.
DCA needs a parade more often.
And I think a daytime parade is more important in DCA. They used to have Main Street Electrical Parade in there a little bit, and that was fine. But I also remember when they had the Pixar Play Parade. I'm talking 2008-ish.
Yeah, I think that was there the one and only time I had been to Disneyland before.
But it was very similar energy to that, and in fact, I think the Incredibles and Frozen, when they're riding on things, I think those are actually holdover from that.
Yeah.
But it was the same energy. It's just light, upbeat. Yeah, it was really good.
And
I really liked it.
It has to be a little bit of a smaller of a deal. Like, I haven't seen Magic Happens, but
I did.
That's a big to do.
It is.
That works better in Disneyland because it doesn't cut off the entire park.
No.
Whereas the through fare of DCA, if you have a parade going through it, it literally cuts, like, the park can't operate.
Yeah, it works better for each park the way they have it now. I like there being a daytime parade there. The other thing I wanted to super quickly ask you about was the Pizza Planet trucks.
Oh, yes. Totally forgot those. There was
just what we were talking about Pixar. It made me think about,
there was. So I love Hidden Mickeys.
Me too. Super fun.
Hidden Mickeys were dead to me on this trip.
It's true.
It was all about finding the Pixar trucks.
Yeah.
We had heard about them. We had seen a couple videos with a couple examples, but we didn't look up anything.
Nope, we didn't want to.
On purpose before.
We knew there were 50.
We knew there were 50, and we were just looking for them everywhere. I think we found slightly over half.
Yeah. Yes.
And that was super fun. They were on,
and there's one we never saw, but I knew exactly where it would be, and we the line never took us that way. It was on Indiana Jones.
It was on Indiana Jones in like the extended interior queue that we never went through.
Someone posted it a week later on Instagram, and I was like, I knew it.
Yeah, I knew it. So that was a super fun little side mini game to like keep you occupied. Some of them were on rides, some of them were on queues, some of them were just out in the park.
One was in a kiosk. Some were you had to look up, some you had to look down.
Some were in pre-shows, some were
super hidden. Yeah, somewhere. Yeah, it was really cool. I was impressed. You found quite a few of them.
I was very good at it.
Yes, you were.
I will toot my own horn on that one. But
I was proud. I pointed out a couple to you, and you were like, "That's pretty good." Although you would have seen it like half a second later, so whatever. But yeah, we found a little over half. I am gonna go probably and watch a video of someone doing them all, just so I can be like, what did we like? Which ones did we miss?
What did we miss? Yeah.
But they're there till, while Pixar Fest is going on. So you have time. Go find them. Yeah.
And to cap it off.
Okay.
You're like, this is going to be a short episode.
Well, I thought so, yeah.
I was like, there's no chance. Anyway, we did get some Magic Key Holder specific merch.
We did.
Because we are Magic Key Holders.
We actually got a fair bit of merch.
We went to the Magic Key Holder specific rest area in DC.
We did, yeah.
That was cool. But we got a Magic Key Holder t-shirt for Pixar. It was the Pixar Fest Magic Key Holder specific t-shirt that you have to be a Magic Key Holder to buy. And we did get the Doug popcorn bucket that was Magic Key Holder exclusive.
We actually also got the Magic Key Holder specific photo pass.
Oh yeah, we did, and that was for town.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, it was. It was like kind of doodly, like what you put up in your locker in the '90s kind of thing, which I loved. But yeah, the highlight is of course the Doug popcorn bucket. We got a couple sippers. I got a new Loth cat.
The sippers were both Star Wars sippers.
Yeah. Well, and I got a Tiki Loth cat from Oga's, but those were not Magic Key. The Magic Key Holder was Doug.
Yeah.
And he's adorable.
He is adorable.
And a talking dog. We should watch Up again.
Oh my god, it's a talking dog!
So, do you want to go to Disneyland for another long weekend with me?
Well, we're gonna go in August, so no.
But
after that, maybe, yeah.
You gonna say what you booked it like recently?
I did. It's booked.
Let's finish with this. What are we doing in August?
Going to Disneyland.
For how long?
A long time.
Yeah.
It's like a week and a half. We're also going to check out Super Mario World.
We are. We're excited about that.
Super Nintendo Land. We're going to do one day at Universal. My parents are coming. We're going to show them around Disneyland. Yeah,
they're going to meet us while we're there for a few days there, and we're going to kind of come back at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to join us.
We're going to be tour guides. Yeah, because again, we have a particular set of skills.
Yeah, so we have some stuff booked, and it's going to be exciting, and yeah, next trip.
We specifically booked it for near the end of August, so all of the U.S. kids are back in school.
And then we're coming home, and I have one day until I go back to school.
And we're very seriously going to try to get the first Oogie Boogie badge. We're gonna try our best.
Yeah, we do understand how difficult that is.
Oh yeah, of course.
But we're still gonna try.
We're gonna try. We have as good a shot as anybody.
That's exactly right. But we'll talk, of course, a lot about that as it gets closer. But anyway, it was a great time. This was the coolest thing I've ever done. One of the coolest things I've ever done, anyway. So that's our show for this week. Thank you, Emil, who's responsible for the custom theme song you heard at the top of the show. You can find a link to his work at our website, disneya.wixsite.com/podcast, and that's also where you can find a link to all of our social media accounts, as well as our email. You can find Disney A episodes on all of your favorite podcast streaming platforms and on our YouTube channel, Adventures A. Also, we are now listed under YouTube Music for the podcast as well. If you've rated or reviewed our podcast, thank you, and if you haven't yet, please do. It actually just helps others find us because algorithms. So I'm Krysta.
I'm Brandon.
And until the next adventure, which I don't know what it is yet, so you'll notice I conveniently skipped over that part. TTFN, ta-ta for now. Thanks for listening to Disney A.
it's interesting what you can do unsupervised with adult money, I guess.
Can that be the name of this episode? It's interesting what you can do unsupervised with adult money. It's probably a little long.
It's a little long, but it's also good. I don't know. Yeah.